Today's practice, Shamatha practice, is the practice of Shamatha with no object, sometimes called awareness of awareness. So this practice, of course, like the breath and the mind practice, the goal of this practice is to cultivate a calm, clear, focused mind, to cultivate relaxation, stability, clarity. But this practice is much more about being than doing. And it's more about, in the previous practices of the mind and the breath, we are cultivating these qualities of relaxation, stability, clarity. Whereas this practice is more one of discovering these qualities that are already present within our own mind. So it's more like discovery than cultivating. And we see that in Alan Wallace's Attention Revolution on page 6, and he said that, he said, here the practice is not so much one of developing attentional stability and clarity as it is of discovering the stillness and luminosity inherent in awareness itself. So how do we know if we're practicing this correctly? As with any shamatha practice, incorrect means to be caught up in the two imbalances of dullness and distraction, or laxity and excitation. So of course here distraction means we are caught up in any appearances. We're focusing on any appearances. And of course, laxity or dullness means that our mind is simply just blank or spaced out. There's no awareness. So the correct practice, of course, is without laxity and excitation, without dullness and distraction. So distraction means, without distraction means to not focus on any appearance. Whatever appears, not focus on it. As Padmasambhava said, to cut the appearances. But cut doesn't mean try to block them, because that's aversion. So we don't want to be trying to block appearances. Let them be there. Let the thoughts and emotions and sounds and sensations be there. We're just not interested in them. We're only interested in knowing that we're aware. And of course, to overcome the dullness is to know that we're aware, and not just sort of drift into this sort of spaced out, blank state. So we want to maintain that clear awareness, just knowing that we're aware. And that's it. Now, as I introduced in the last meditation, when we get agitated or distracted, we can then just release our awareness, release any tension, and relax completely. And when we get dull, it's just sharpen our awareness seeing that knowing that we're aware. Also, what we can do, what you might find helpful, you might like to try this as well, is if you find yourself getting caught up in any agitation or distraction or tension, lower your gaze. So lower your gaze down. And if you find yourself just drifting into dullness and drowsiness and so forth, elevate your gaze, bring your gaze up. So you might like to do that as well to help overcome those imbalances. And now in this practice, to help us to go a little bit deeper into the practice, I want to do, as you've been doing before breakfast, I want to do 2 15-minute sessions with a little 2-minute break in the middle, to give you an opportunity to really get into the practice a bit more. So again, in the first of those 15, we'll go through the normal sort of preparation, and then in the 2-minute break, if you need to stretch your legs, you can do that quietly, and in the second one, we'll be able to prepare a little bit more quickly and then spend more time in the practice. So let's do that practice, so 2 15-minute sessions with a little 2-minute break in the middle. So keeping the back nice and straight, and allow the entire body to become completely relaxed, completely at ease. And keeping the body as still as possible. Allowing the breathing to settle into its natural rhythm. And bringing the mind into the present moment through simply becoming aware of the rhythm of the breath. Allowing the eyes to be at least partially open, resting your gaze in the space in front of you, releasing all appearances, allowing the mind to come to rest, not doing anything at all, simply being present. Knowing that you're aware. If you get caught up in any agitation, tension or distraction, lower your gaze, release your awareness into space, releasing all appearances, relaxing completely. Or if you find yourself drifting into dullness, drowsiness, or simply having a blank mind, raise your gaze and sharpen your focus, knowing that you're aware. Simply resting in that stillness of awareness. If you need to stretch your legs, you can do that now quietly. So once again, finding that nice comfortable posture, back straight, body relaxed. Allowing the mind to come to rest in the present moment, becoming aware of the rhythm of the breath. Resting your gaze in the space in front of you, releasing all appearances, allowing the mind to come to rest. Simply being present, knowing that you're aware.